host of the Gridiron.
Fourth and goal to go with the 2. 34 seconds left to go in the ball game. This is the play right now. Takes the snap. Targeted goes in. Targeted all alone. And the quarterback keeps. Wow, what a call. Nobody touched him.
All right. Welcome to the Gridiron. If you can give this video a thumbs up and maybe share this video, that would be absolutely freaking phenomenal. If you subscribe to my channel, thank you. If not, please get out. Hit the subscribe button, hit that bell icon. That way next time I go live, or if I put a video out, you'll be notified. And it's free of charge. What do you got to lose? It's totally free of charge. If you want to help support my channel, description box below, very top link, description box takes you to my membership page. I got 3 different membership levels. Each one has their own little perks to them. So once again, if you want to help support my channel, it would mean so much to me. And I thank you in advance. Thank you. And then finally, just underneath that, somewhere in the description box is another link, takes you to my Facebook group. It's called the New York Giants, the Gridiron. It's my Facebook group. We have over 9,600 members in the group. It is doing simply marvelous, might I add. Basically, if I'm alive and breathing, and if I got internet access, I'm putting stuff in that group darn near 365. It's called the New York Giants, the Gridiron. It's my Facebook group. Please join it. You will not be dissatisfied. I promise. Well, we got a lot of stuff to talk about here. A whole lot of lumps to talk about tonight. Good old, the excitement on his face there. Oh, I got to sit down and talk to these morons once again. I really feel sorry for that. I mean, well, hey, it comes with the territory, right? You sign your name on the dotted line. Or anyway, it doesn't matter. Any coaches, it doesn't matter, right? Period. But if you want to come to New York, it's pretty nice when things are going good. But when things aren't going so well, it can be a horror story. Even Bill Parcells, he called the reporters. There's a little clip on it somewhere. You can find it on YouTube or something. I've seen it a bunch of times, but he calls the reporters, media, whatever. He calls them commies. I call you guys commies. There it is. Subversive from within. Even when things are going right. There's always a problem. Always something wrong. They win a Super Bowl, like we got problems. You know what I mean? You win 35 Super Bowls in a row. They're talking about what's the problem. You know what I mean? Or what do it's. So you feel bad for like Shane and Daboll and all that and everything. But once again, it comes with the job, right? I mean, it's just not the winning and losing. It's everything that goes with it. So I couldn't do it. It's a very rewarding, job and career and all that stuff and everything. But boy, I'll tell you what, working 23 and a half hours a day. Nope, not happening. God bless them. But at the annual, the league meetings, Daboll spoke. And of course, that also means that after that, Shane spoke. Well, actually, Shane spoke first, then I believe, and then Daboll spoke. But Daboll was first. So the guys rattled them off a whole bunch of questions here. So this one is from Ed Valentine, Big Blue View. 4 takeaways from Bran Daboll. Talking about the play call and Travis Hunter, of course, Shedeur Sanders, and all of that and everything. So the New York Giants head coach Bran Daboll said Tuesday at the NFL's owners meeting that he is not ready to make a decision on whether or not he will call offensive plays again in 2025 season. Play call won't make that decision as we go into the preseason and training camp, Daboll said. Whatever it is, once we get to that point that I feel is going to be in the best of the football team, whatever that ends up being, the end product, I'm going to probably do, he added. Defensive coordinator, obviously, Mike Kafka called the plays in 2022 when the Giants went to the playoffs. Not only went to the playoffs, but won the playoff game. And so then he called the plays in 2023 when the Giants were 30th in the NFL in points scored and fell to a 6-11 record. Then Daboll took over, and we went from a 6-11, and then we wound up winning half of that. Went from 6 wins down to 3 wins. That is interesting, though, if you think about that, right? Right? The Giants, right? Hopefully I'm not jinxing us here, right? I wouldn't want to do that. But the Giants, if you look at it, won 9 games 3 years ago. 2 years ago, take away 1, 2, 3. Take away 3 wins. We won 6, right? 6-11. Last year, take away 3. 1, 2, 3. We won 3-14. You see where I'm going here? Hopefully not. This year, if you take away 3 wins, let's not even go there. That's not even funny. Giants general manager Joe Schoen has long favored the head coach not calling plays, though he's always maintained he will allow Daboll to make the final decision. And then in announcing that Daboll and Schoen would return for a 4th season, Mara raised the issue of whether or not Daboll calling plays was for the best of the team. I talked to him Friday about that. Do you really believe that it's in our best interest for you to continue calling plays? I said, I'm not going to demand that you do one thing or the other, but are you better off letting somebody else call the plays? Mara said at the time. So that is certainly it's on the table. That is for sure, without question. I mean, one thing too, is it's you could right. Give us some better ball players, and maybe you might get some better, right? You might get some better results, right? So let's say, I mean, if Kafka goes back to Kafka, right? I mean, he did take us to the playoffs, right? So let's say, fun with Travis. The Giants don't or aren't able to choose a quarterback at number 3. Is it possible the Heisman Trophy winning cornerback / wide receiver Travis Hunter could be a Giant? Daboll did not comment to selecting Hunter or to how the Giants would use him if they selected him. I think he's a good player both ways, Daboll said. He did, though, admit to enjoying a very lengthy process of evaluating Hunter. There's a lot of tape. It's really remarkable what he has done and the ability to perform at that level, not really getting a rest, Daboll said. He's been a fun player to evaluate and to meet and talk with. He's a heck of a player. So, and of course, so obviously he didn't want to, obviously tip his hand. Obviously he probably doesn't probably even have a real good idea or indication where he would want to play him at either, if they were to draft him. Quarterback of the future. That's obviously the number one issue for us going into the offseason is to find our quarterback of the future. Those were Mara's words back in January. So does Daboll feel pressure to get a quarterback in the draft that the team added veterans Russell Wilson and Jameson Winston? You do the best job you can to try to find the right one for your team, Daboll said. We're going to go through the evaluation of all the guys that have been on my list to look at and talk to. Daboll added that everything's got to fall in line, though, to get the quarterback you want. You just can't take a quarterback because he's a quarterback. Well, it's the second round. We didn't get one in the first. We got to take a quarterback in the second. I mean, this guy, we don't like him. We don't think he can work, but he's the highest rated quarterback. He's rated like in the 3rd round. We got to take him because he won't be there in the 3rd round when we're picking. We got to grab him. We got to grab a 3rd round quarterback in the 2nd round. We got to do it because we need a quarterback. No, can't do that. So, right. You don't know when they're going to get taken, Daboll said. There's an affinity you have to for a player if you feel like the player's the right player and they're sitting there at whatever pick it is you have. Is it a reach? Is it not a reach? I'm not going to get into that. It's how you feel about the player and does that player match where you want to take them. You can't reach, right? Did his eyes bleed? Oh, yeah. He watched a lot of tape. Before the Giants signed Wilson, Daboll watched every play of Wilson's 13-year career. Did a lot of work on him, Daboll said. He makes good decisions with the football. He's athletic. He's a little bit older, so maybe not athletic as he was in 2013 and 2014, when he first started coming into the league, obviously. But certainly his ability to use his legs, extend plays, create explosive plays. Daboll also called Wilson a phenomenal deep ball thrower. So, but he watched every pass of Russell Wilson's career when evaluating his fit for the Giants. I believe it was like over 7,500 pass attempts. So that was a lot. All right, so now we got some takeaways here. Takeaways from the Daboll, Coach Daboll at the annual league meeting. This is from Dan Solomon. So just some, one thing Daboll did talk about was about 40% of the roster at this point is different. So the one nice thing though is that they did bring up, slide that back over there. There you go. All right, here we go. Whoa, AJ Man's in the house. What's up, brother? But one thing they did bring up when they were talking to him, I mean, because if you think about it, right, on the offense, right, think about it, right, offense. We got everybody but the quarterback from last year. We got Tracy, we got Wandale, we got Jalen Hyatt, we brought Darius back. We got Malik Neighbors. We got Theo Johnson. We got Illuminor. We got GVR. Figure we're going to be talking about Evan Neal a little farther down in our program here tonight for your whining and dining pleasure, right? So we got GVR, Illuminor, maybe Evan Neal, Michael Schmitz, Runyon Jr., and Andrew Thomas. The whole offense is back, except the quarterback, right? Hey. 10 out of 11, of course, once again, the most important position in all of sports, right? Is not the same one from last year, but we have 10 out of 11. Then you go to the other side of the ball, right? I mean, we brought in a bunch of D linemen, okay? So you're not sure if Nacho is starting or if somebody's or if they're going to let him go maybe. But as far as starters, right? I mean, we got, Sexy, we got Burns, we got Kayvon, we got Micah McFadden, we got Akarake, right? We got we have one different safety, and we're gonna have like one different cornerback, right? I mean, so out of the starting 22, right? Pretty much about 8. That's I mean, I don't even know. Maybe if they don't take a defensive tackle. I hope they do, but if maybe Nacho's the starter, I don't know, right? But I mean, if he's the starter, that means we lost one cornerback, right? And so we're gonna be putting a Daboll in there, right? But that's an upgrade. And then we lost Pinnock, but we got Holland. That's an upgrade, right? So I mean, you look at the 22. We got at least 18 guys coming back out of the 22. That's pretty good, right? That's really, really good. That was one thing to talk about. But Daboll also said about 40% of the roster is new. And that's just the way it is every year. Big turnover. But they did keep a good portion of the starters intact, which is good. On calling plays, once again, Daboll wants to go through the OTAs and make a decision going to the preseason games. Daboll doesn't typically go to pro days. He prefers private workouts. He prefers the one-on-one. He prefers, especially like quarterbacks and all of that, right? He'd rather have his hands on the talk to the quarterback and all that instead of have them go through scripted plays and all with their own receiver, whatever. You know what I mean? So Daboll didn't have a previous relationship with Russell Wilson, but saw him from afar. He was with Kansas City when Wilson came into the league. Daboll watched every play of Wilson since 2012, which is more than 7,500 pass plays. Wow. Daboll wanted to see what he did well to inform what they can install for the Giants, right? Did a lot of work on him. He makes good decisions with the football. That he does. He'll get you touchdown passes, but he keeps he's kind of like, what do you call? You want to call. Wilson's the anti-Winston. Winston's the anti-Wilson. Right? I mean, Wilson's, good with the football, protecting the football. Winston ain't. Winston's a gunner, a slinger, and a winger, baby. He'll throw you in a game. He'll throw you out of a game. Right? But Wilson is good at protecting the football. So, he said Wilson's a phenomenal deep ball thrower, which is very good, right? Right now, the Giants have 3 quarterbacks in the room. We'll see what happens over the next few weeks through the draft. Giants have done extensive work on a bunch of quarterbacks in this draft class. I've heard about Dart. I mean, they've done reading articles and stuff. They've done a lot of work on him. Right now, obviously, the question would be with Dart, of course, would be shocked. It would be like flashbacks from Gettleman. If they took Dart at 3, that would be like taking Daniel Jones at 6. It's just, they got these flashbacks. I mean, they might as well just sell the team, just sell it, move. Well, they did sell part of it. Actually, they sold 10% of it. But just sell it, fold up, and just if they pick Dart at 3. I mean. The question is he won't be there in the second round. So do they think that much of him if they pass on a quarterback at 3, if there's a quarterback to be taken at 3? Do they think that much of him to trade back into like number 20 in front of the Steelers? Do they think that much of him? We'll have to wait and see. New quarterback cornerback Paulson Daboll has played both systems, but is a good main corner. Daboll thinks the world of safety Javon Holland. Since he was coming out of college, he's an instinctive player and crafty veteran. He can call different spots in the back and is a good leader. We're going to talk a little bit more about Javon Holland in, I think, our next portion of the program here. Daboll could not be happier for Josh Allen. You're doing work all the way up till the draft in terms of evaluating prospects at all positions. You've got to weed through what you hear and trust your meetings with the players. The face of a franchise is a quarterback, and it's not an easy position to evaluate. It's not an easy position to coach. It's not an easy position to play. You do the best job you can, try to find the right one for your team. Everything has to fall in line to get the quarterback you want in terms of whether something is or whether it's not a reach. It's more about how you feel about the player and does that player match where you want to take him. On having big personalities in the quarterback room and possibly adding another, I think it's important to let the players be the players and show their personalities. I want them to be themselves. Daboll reiterated what Shane said about Wilson being with the 1s and Winston with the 2s when the Giants get on the field for spring football. Daboll said it takes a long time to evaluate Heisman Trophy winner and 2-way player Travis Hunter. There's a lot of tape. It's really remarkable what he's done and his ability to perform at that level, not really getting a rest. He's been a fun player to evaluate and to meet with and talk with. He's a heck of a player. And there was tough decisions to make in regards to this offseason changes on the coaching staff. I wish all the guys that we had the best of luck. I mean, that's one of the, obviously, the hardest parts. Coaches, because the thing, I mean, also that comes with the territory as well. So, but I mean, like with coaches, I mean, once again, that comes with the territory. That comes with the territory. I'm a moron. I can't speak. That's part of the job. I mean, there's not many Tom Landrys. Starts coaching the Dallas Cowboys in 1960. And he's coaching the Dallas Cowboys up until 1988, 29 seasons in a row in Dallas. That doesn't happen. Okay. A lot of times it's not only they move on from you, a new coaching staff and everything comes in and they get rid of the coaches, or you go someplace else. I mean, somebody, you're a running backs coach or whatever, something like that, and a college comes calling or another pro team calling, and they maybe give you running backs coach and passing game coordinator or something, whatever. They give you a little bit of a bump up or something like that. I mean, so, I mean, that's part of the coaching. I mean, I couldn't do that. Live in a new city every other year. I couldn't do that. I could take my kids out of school and stuff. I couldn't do that. I'd have a hard time doing that. But that's part of being a coach. It all comes with the territory. So.